Well, we were down to our final 2 games of the 2018 regular season, and a thumbs up for that guy right there, Aaron Nola, who will be making his final start of the year. It's been a fantastic season for Aaron. We'll talk about him in just a little bit. Weekends with Schmidt presented by Acme Markets as the Phils taking on the Atlanta Braves. NBC Sports Philadelphia, home of the authentic fan. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Mike Schmidt. He's going to talk about Rhys Hoskins in a little bit, and Ben Davis, who's going to talk about Aaron Nola. Let's talk about Rhys, because if there is one thing that we know is that day in and day out, the effort is there, and obviously the power has been there too, Michael.
Yeah, he has a wonderful, natural home run swing through the ball. Then I'll talk about Aaron Nola in a minute. You talk about bright lights in a season that has turned quite dismal here at the end. Rhys Hoskins is one. There you see the home run last night, way back in left center. I made the score 10-2, unfortunately, but Rhys gives his best every time he goes to home plate. Here's the company he's with in hitting 34-plus home runs at this point in his career. Jason Worth, Ryan Howard, and Raul Ibanez, for sure. Great company. Rhys Hoskins is going to be fun to watch over the rest of his career. You know, we all love him. He's been very consistent throughout the year, 90-plus RBIs.
Yep.
I don't know, he needs a couple of big games to get to 100. Maybe that'll happen.
That'd be great if it starts tonight and he can get to 100 by the time tomorrow's game comes to a close. We do know that this is Aaron Nola's final start of the 2018 season. And let's face it, we can't ask for anything more from this guy. He has been as good as it has gotten this year.
And it really shows you what kind of competitor he is. He was asked if he wants a baseball for the day before the final game of the season. He said, absolutely I do. Take a look at these numbers on the season. He's just really been their horse this season. He's been so good. When he goes to the mound every 5th day, he really does give his ball club the best opportunity to win. The fastball has been awesome. The curveball has been ridiculous. And the changeup really has been a constant, really competitive pitch for him as the season has gone on. We see this outing against the Nats earlier in the season. He's faced the National League East seemingly more than anybody else this season. He has been so darn good. And what else can you say about him? He's the guy.
Well, talking with Rick Kranitz earlier today, just to kind of get a little bit of a thumbnail about tonight, he said if it's up to me, he's going to go as long as he can because they want him to finish as strong as possible. Not only that, but the Phillies would love to end this losing streak. He'll be opposed by Anibal Sanchez, who has pitched his way into the conversation for a spot in the postseason rotation. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Philadelphia. Gorgeous weather as Aaron Nola is about to take the mound to get ready for his final start of the year. It's been a pleasure to watch him pitch the entire season for the Philadelphia Phillies. There's Aaron. And asking him yesterday, talking to him yesterday, he said, you know, he wants to go as far as he can. He said, if I can get as deep as I possibly can tonight, that will help put an exclamation point on tonight's ball game. His mom and dad are here to get a chance to watch him pitch. And sky's the limit. I mean, it's going to be exciting to see what happens as he moves forward in his big league career. Atlanta Braves are playing for something. They're still playing for home field advantage, at least in the first rounds. The Cubs will have the home field advantage throughout the postseason, or the Brewers, depending on who wins the Central. So as Aaron Nola takes the mound, let's take a look at the Braves lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Ronald Acuna will lead things off, then Ender Inciarte, and then Freddie Freeman. Last night he was 4 for 5 with 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, and a walk. They will indeed face the 25-year-old from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the former first-round pick. 16-6 on the year, over 200 innings, over 200 strikeouts. Really across the board, just a solid year. You can't say anything about him. I mean, he probably should have a couple more wins, but every starting pitcher probably feels that way, Ben.
Yeah, he's just been dominant this season. It's been so fun to watch every fifth day. Fastball sit about 92. He can bump that up to 95 at times. The changeup has been very good to both righties and lefties, and the curveball really just continues to amaze me.
There's Aaron's dad.
Well, it'd be so fitting tonight for the Phillies to rally behind Aaron, get a positive finish to this season, a victory. No one deserves it more than Aaron Nola. He's pitched with, I would say, Tom, Ben, you'd probably agree with me, with minimal run support over the years. I don't know how many times he's gone into the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning with a, you know, haven't given up 2 or 1,
and there's times where he's just flat out had to come out of a ball game because they need to get his spot came up in the lineup.
Yeah, I think you could say that about a lot of these starting pitchers at some point, particularly the second half of the season.
Yeah.
All right, well, Ronald Acuna will lead things off. Acuna was 3 for 6 last night with an RBI. Struck out his first couple of times up and then rolled through the ball game. Well, in reality, the Atlanta Braves as a whole rolled through the ball game.
that's a pretty good night when you can punch out your first 2 and then get 3 hits.
Yeah.
That's why you got to hang with it. It's hard to say that every once in a while, but you got to hang with them.
I think he's 2 for 3 off of Aaron Nola.
He is.
Looks like it would be a tough matchup for Acuna Jr.
And a first pitch fastball. And it's 0-1. So we're underway. That fastball came in at 93 miles an hour.
You know, he must make adjustments as he goes, because he surely swings through a lot of fastballs, and then before the at-bat's over, he'll figure something out and put it in play.
There's a liner out to right center field. Speaking of that,
yeah,
and Acuna's aboard with a leadoff single.
That's amazing to miss that first pitch like he did and then come back and hit that one to right center. Ball was a little up too.
20 years old. My goodness.
Yeah, between he and Soto, you know, both of them are going to be pretty special as the years move on.
Maybe he doesn't know how hard it is to do what he just did.
There might be something to it, although, you know, honestly, Mike, they have said that he's pretty bright when it comes to the adjustments that you alluded to. Here's Inciarte. He was 2 for 5 with an RBI in last night's ball game. I would think the Braves will be aggressive because they have been aggressive this year. I don't know if they're going to take their foot off the pedal at all, because as we've talked about, Brian Snitker knows there are things to play for, and it is important to get home field advantage, even if it's just a bit of home field advantage.
Oh, yeah, home field advantage. No question that's valuable. Especially when you travel, when you have to travel.
And at this juncture, I mean, they're probably going to have to travel out west in some way, shape, or form. Inciarte takes outside because Colorado, the Rockies host the Nationals tonight. Colorado has a 1-game lead over the Dodgers, who are leading the Giants. The Cubs will play the wild card winner, and the Braves will have to head out to Colorado, and I would think you'd want home field advantage against the Rockies in particular. See the West standings. Another toss over.
Well, the Phillies just went through it in Colorado, those 4 games. You know the gauntlet you can run out there in that thin air.
Well, and particularly when they're hot.
Yes.
And they're hot right now. Freddie Freeman, speaking of somebody that's been on fire recently, another throw over, and Acuna does get back just ahead of the tag.
They count those throws over as pitches?
I don't think so.
At least 1 or 2 of them anyway.
That was close.
That was close.
Good
Closer.
of Acuna, go to the back of the bag. It's a longer tag for Reese.
Acuna letting us know that he was safe, even though the Phillies took a peek at it. Ball trickled out of the glove of Rhys Hoskins. He was back anyway.
Another reason the Braves are a good team. Same lineup every night. Every guy in the lineup knows his job. Inciarte right here, great 2-hole hitter. Was a leadoff hitter for a while, but now great 2-hole hitter.
Yeah, he's thrived back in the 2 spot. He was not performing as well as the leadoff hitter. They actually moved him down to the number 8 spot. Out towards center, Roman Quinn has it played perfectly. And 1 out here in the first. That brings Freddie Freeman to the plate. He provided us with our Geico quote of the day on the Braves winning 90. It's definitely pretty remarkable, definitely when nobody expected this. We just didn't know what the young guys would do. They have obviously made huge impacts this year. Every time we got knocked down, we came right back. To have 90 wins after the last couple of years is pretty nice. Yeah, they're the first team to win 90 after losing 90 since the franchise did it in 91. And you know what kind of run they went on after that. Curveball. This should be 2. Kingery flips to Santana for 1. 6-5-3 double play. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We're on to the bottom of the first. In Philadelphia. Well, Cesar leads it off, and he's the first Philly with at least 90 runs scored in a season since Jimmy Rollins had 102 back in 2012. And quite honestly, if you ask Cesar, because his batting average is low, strikeout totals high, his walks are up, but it probably hasn't been this season. that he had hoped for from the leadoff spot as they face Anibal Sanchez, 2.96 ERA. Mike, you've always liked this guy, you said, right? Anibal Sanchez?
Yeah, definitely. Originally with the Marlins, or at least pitched for the Marlins down in Florida where I live, so I watched quite a few of their games early on, and then helped me with this Detroit.
To Detroit. Then bouncing around different places.
Always a stylish pitcher, you know, kind of a guy that has got 4 pitches, little of this, little of that, can put a little on a fastball when he needs to, get the breaking ball over for strikes early in the count. You know, he's one of those guys like a Hellickson kind of pitcher. You know?
Yeah, he's got to have command in order to be effective. This is his 12th start against the Phillies in his career. 1-0 to Cesar.
You know, you brought up Cesar and the kind of year that he's had. You know, I like Cesar a lot. I like his batting stroke, but I would think that I would hope he thinks that he's let a possible really good season get away from him. You know, the batting average has declined from the 290-300 range all the way down to where it is right now, fairly steadily. And his interest in getting on base and walks, and you know how he was headed for 100 walks, headed for 100 home runs, and you know the last 2.5, 3 months of the season, that kind of attitude about leading off and hitting seemed to have left. But he can still play second base on a championship team. There's no question about that.
He definitely has the ability. Flies out to left field. And Carlos Santana is now the hitter. Santana 0 for 3 with a walk in yesterday's game. Comes in with a walk percentage higher than his strikeout percentage. That's always good. He's at 16% walk percentage, 13% strikeout percentage. 24 home runs, 85 runs batted in. Pokes it over to third. Camargo's up with it. And there are 2 outs.
I agree with you on that. If you're walking more than you're striking out, that's a pretty significant stat. I didn't. I went for about 125 on the average and about 105 or 6 walks.
You made up for it in other areas, Michael.
Well.
Here's Odubel. Gabe talked a lot about Odubel today in his pregame conversation. He said he's he has been meeting with all the players, and he's really done a nice job of that the last several days, having these exit interviews with the players and telling them what he expects going into next year. He said when he meets with Odubel and Roman Quinn, he's going to tell both of them that he expects them to come into spring training prepared to be the center fielder for the Philadelphia Phillies in 2019. And he said that it's up to to Gabe and the coaching staff to make sure that Odubel comes in better shape this year, in tip-top shape, and ready to perform from day one. Because as we mentioned during spring training, Odubel didn't come in the best of shape. But he spent a lot of time talking about Odubel Herrera today and what he needs to do, and you know what the responsibility is from the coaching staff standpoint for Odubel to be successful coming into next year. Now, I think a lot of us would say it's up to the person too, and Gabe realizes that. We had a long talk about that the other day.
And what will his willingness be to do that? Because the talent is there.
I will say that one point that Gabe brought up, because we were talking to him about his exit interviews in Denver. One point that he did bring up is that a lot of the coaches were hired later, because after he was hired, there was a vetting process on the coaches. He said, now, I have a full off season. We all have a full off season to make sure that we're on guys like Odubel from the get-go and keeping in touch with them during the course of the off season. So a 12-pitch bottom of the first for Anibal Sanchez. Aaron Nola back to work when we return. Well, back here at Citizens Bank Park, so we've been talking a lot about the last several games for the Phillies since the 24th of September. They've scored only 9 runs. And the opposition, the Rockies, the Braves, have scored 49 runs. So the differential is minus 40. It's incredible to think it's the worst run differential in a 5-game span this year. And I hope the Phillies never go through it again. And Murph, I'm sure the manager hopes that the Phillies never go through it again.
Tom, I think that's a pretty safe bet. He has been asked about it an awful lot over the last couple days, and certainly been asked about what has gone wrong over the last couple weeks as this team has kind of gone into a free fall in late August and September. But he's been pretty consistent with his answer as well. He's talked about the ability for the coaching staff in the offseason to kind of identify what they can do better to make sure this doesn't happen again. And he said, you know, part of it is conditioning. You were just talking about Odubel Herrera and what he thinks that he would be able to do if he takes care of things in the offseason, comes in shape, and is able to, you know, be in shape for an entire season. But he's talking about the rest of the guys as well, both physically and mentally. He said, you know, it's a grind. And some of our young players, he said, I don't think they were as well prepared as they could have been for this entire season. And he said, it's our job as a coaching staff to get them prepared and to let them know exactly what is expected in August and September, because it doesn't get easier as the season goes on. It gets more difficult. So he said it's something that he's already been thinking about how they can do a better job as they go into the offseason so that something like this doesn't happen at the end of the year again.
Yeah, I think it's I would think managers around baseball have thought about that. All right, so minor league season ends at the end of August. For young players, they have to take the next step to play another full month and hopefully even more than that. So what's the right formula to have success? What's the right formula to keep, let's say, Maikel Franco from not sitting for the last week of the season and getting himself ready to play the whole year? They've been healthy for the most part this year.
Well, I'm sitting here trying to temper my comments. I mean, my attitude is you got to be careful with allowing players to get away with things, you know, by making excuses about, well, they could be tired. There's, you know, they never played this long. Never played the month of September. They need to be in better shape. I think players at the major league level, if they're winning players, got it in the heart to win, got it in the heart to want to compete, got it in the heart to want to win the battle every time they go at home plate with the pitcher. And that means training yourself to understand with 2 strikes, I'm not striking out. With men on base, I'm putting the ball in play. Then I'm going to help move these runners. I'm just not going to go up to home plate and swing for the fences because, you know, because you're not held accountable for that. And I just think when we watch the teams that we play against, especially over the last month, we've seen offenses and hitters on the other team that are committed to doing those kind of things. If you watch the Colorado Rockies with 2 strikes, you watch Nolan Arenado with 2 strikes, he eats up that plate. I see him chase sliders out over the plate with 2 strikes and keep his head right down over the plate on the ball and foul him off to live for another pitch. He grinds with 2 strikes. He's got 120 RBIs too.
Yeah, I think we have seen examples of that. And I really think, and I agree with you on that, Mike, when we talk about the other teams. I think we've seen examples of that in September that hopefully can reinforce that sort of idea.
Absolutely. And look at the first inning right today was a perfect example of how that approach has really kind of changed. Sanchez threw 12 pitches. We've seen upwards of 30, 35, 40 pitches in recent months.
Yeah, we boasted about that.
And that was their main goal. That was their main objective. And it really has kind of changed.
Well, Ben, I mean, I know there are times when seeing a lot of pitches and running up pitch counts makes sense. You're behind in a ball game. You don't want to make quick outs and at bats. But this is the first place team we're playing against right now. Every one of them have been hacking as soon as they walked in the batter's box.
Yeah.
An MVP candidate, Freddie Freeman, swings at the first pitch all the time. Acuna swung at the first pitch and then lined the second pitch for a double. So, I mean, as the game goes on, you'll see that the Braves are a much more aggressive hitting team than the Phillies.
1-2 inside, 2-2 to Camargo.
And most likely, most of the teams we play are more aggressive hitters than our hitters are. We can talk about being first in the league in pitches seen and all that kind of stuff all we want, but I don't think that leads to strong offense.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Camargo. That ball just missed, I guess. It was outside. It was high. 3-2.
He had an at bat last night, Camargo. I don't know if you remember whether it was his first at bat or second at bat in the game. I was watching on TV, and he looked like he was almost impossible to strike out in that at bat last night.
I think it was his first at bat. He singled in his first at bat.
Yeah.
I think that was the one you're talking about, because he homered quickly in his second at bat. Three balls and 2 strikes to Camargo. 19 home runs, 76 runs batted in. Runner goes, pitch sails, and that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Nola. And Kurt Suzuki is coming up.
You'll see Aaron Nola give back-to-back walks very often,
especially after an 0-2 count.
Yeah, that curve just slipped right out of his hand. Well, here's Suzuki, who's hitting .274. He did not play last night. He and Tyler Flowers sort of split time behind home plate. He's having the better year offensively. He's really solid defensively, too.
I just don't know if you're the Braves how you go into a postseason not having Kurt Suzuki catch every game.
Well, you never know. He may be the guy that catches every game.
But it just hasn't been that way throughout the course of the season.
I think one thing that if you're Brian Snitker or any manager in the postseason, you have to sort of ward against changing your style from the way you did it during the regular season. Out to right field. Odubel is there. Tagging at second base is Markakis. He'll go to third, but the throw goes to second to keep the double play in order. And 1 out. Well, before we close up shop, tomorrow is the final game of the 2018 regular season. It's a 3:05 first pitch. So join us one last time. There'll be a lot of giveaways during the course of tomorrow's ball game. It is Fan Appreciation Day, and the PGW 2019 schedule Fathead will be given out to all fans. You can get tickets by coming up to the ticket windows or by going to Phillies.com right now.
Quality at bat by Suzuki. That's what wins ball games. Must get one out of this. Hit the ball to the right side. Could have been a knock. He had a line drive to right field. Advanced the runner Markakis from second to third.
It's amazing how old habits die hard. Literally, as soon as that ball was made contact with right field, I immediately thought to myself, back up third. Oh, that's what I would have yelled at the pitcher.
Oh,
I mean, it just.
Did you go?
No, I literally just said back up third to myself. Anytime a ball's hit to the right side, I think.
Alfaro had a play at second base. He
Sure
must
did.
not have had a grip on the baseball. He's limping. That quad has been bothering him.
Good base running.
Yeah.
At Camargo.
That's why that secondary lead is so useful.
He must not have had a grip, though, Ben, because he had him.
See, just really tardy getting that right knee down. Oh, it looked like he had a grip.
Well, I don't know how long Alfaro is going to be in this game. I mean, he's limping pretty good as he comes back toward home plate. Gabe has said all week that the quad injury, there's a feeling that he would be fine if he played. It was just, it's a pain tolerance thing, and everybody's different. He's a tough kid. There's Andrew Knapp, who's caught the last couple of days.
Playing the infield in with men on second and third.
1 ball, 1 strike to Albies. Swing and a miss to the curve, and it's 1-2.
Probably reason for that. It just seems to me that the ball can get through the infield a lot easier now. I'd trade a run for an out anytime right now.
A punch out would be huge. You could walk Culberson and go after Sanchez with 2 outs.
All right, so he's thrown 3 straight curveballs. He's missed 2 of them. Do you anticipate him swinging at a third curveball and throw it again?
We'll see.
Or you got to trust your catcher.
Fastball.
And a strike 3 call. That is a beautiful pitch. A 2-seamer that runs off the hip of the left-hander. 2 outs. Runners on second and third.
Take a look at PitchCast, brought to you by PJ Wheelhands. Oh, yeah.
Got plenty of the plate.
You know, that's another pitch that he has gotten so much better with this year.
I totally agree.
He really has.
And what I like about it, Ben, I don't know how you feel about this, but there's a tendency for it to look like the changeup in the way its actions are. It's faster, obviously.
But what I also like is the fact that he'll throw that one that runs back over and also throw a 4-seamer in there just to keep him honest.
All right, so they intentionally walked Culberson to load the bases up for Sanchez, who picked up his first hit in about 60 at bats against the Phillies last week. He's 1 for 39 this year.
1 for 39?
Yep.
I guess that means the odds aren't really good that he's going to get a knock.
He was so happy in Atlanta last week when he picked up a hit. He was going up the first base line with both hands up. He had one of the longest hitless streaks in all of baseball.
Don't risk a breaking ball in the dirt here.
Well, that was entertaining.
That is aggressive.
0-2.
Tell you what, it wasn't a bad idea if that had been a fastball.
You think
Drop a
Markakis
bunt.
knew he was bunting?
I don't think so. But he's going on contact, Ben.
That's right. Freddie Freeman there laughing.
Curveball swung on and missed, and Aaron works out of a bases loaded jam. He picks up his second strikeout. No runs, no hits, 3 walks for Aaron. Middle of the second, it's the Braves nothing and the Phillies nothing. But news surrounding your team doesn't end there. Authentic Philly fans can keep track of all the team's moves this offseason with our insiders. Found only on NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com, home of the Phillies' authentic fan. Last of the second, it'll be Hoskins, Roman Quinn, Dylan Cousins. In our second to last game, we have to say thank you to Melissa and Kathy Pop, both in the production cavity, both working together in the production cavity. I don't know, Kath, I thought that was pretty good. That's better. We forced Kathy to pitch. We twisted her arm.
Melissa in the red?
Yep.
She got good action. Got a little athlete in her. Huh?
Yeah, nice swing.
Well, we've enjoyed watching our crew out at the yard. We've been putting them on
we
for the last
found
couple
out
weeks.
yesterday about Christine. I came in and got all over for bunting, and then she's got a badge. She's got a sore shoulder. She's had a shot, and so she put me in my place for getting on her about not swinging away.
What did she say next year? She'll come back swinging? Not her fists. 1 ball and no strikes to Hoskins. And Reese fouls it. Reese last night, he had a chance early in the game, but then late in the game he took care of this one.
It's so loud.
That's the way we used to run out home runs in the old days. Whack! You know you got it. Put your head down and run.
Well, that is our giant home run replay.
Oh my goodness!
Smoked. Albies has it and throws him out.
How about that?
Wow, Sanchez's heart is probably racing right now.
He checked his pulse on his neck there too. You know him if you watch that. Did you see the ball with Judge hit?
I did.
Oh, it was similar to that one.
Yes, it was.
Duck and cover.
See, that's the way you hit a low and away pitch.
My goodness.
105.9 was the exit velo. Unfortunately, Albies was shaded that way. Roman Quinn lays down a beauty. There is no chance.
Wow. Just to have that ability.
You could parlay that into a 300 batting average.
Easily.
I'm telling you, if you did it twice a game, once a game, you got the infielders pulled in because they're scared of that, and you hit it on the ground by them.
I mean, that is, and to have that ability, Roman unfortunately had a very tough night last night. 4 strikeouts, but he just deadens this ball perfectly, and it's not even close at first base.
Look at that thing.
But be able to get out of a slump, I mean, that's the ability to do that. Something else.
Fortunately, he was able to get back. With Dylan Cousins at the plate. Cousins making his 8th start. Braves are going to take a look at that.
You know, you have to care about one thing if you're Roman Quinn: getting on base. You don't want the ball to go in the air. You don't want it to go to the fly out to the outfielders. You just pound it down on the ground and run. Vince Coleman, that's who he reminds. That's who he could be, a player like Vince Coleman back in the day. Remember, you had to play in. He played on that turf in St. Louis. Drive you crazy in the infield. You're just waiting for him to take off. You're always jumpy there because you got to go cover second base. Pitcher's throwing over, adding up pitches thrown to first base. Sooner or later, the pitcher's tired of throwing over. Before you know it, he's on third. Tommy Hurt knocks him in, drives in 100 runs without the 10 home runs.
Yes. That's where if you're Dylan Cousins, you got to like hitting in this situation. You know you're going to get a heater. 90-mile-an-hour fastball there, probably one that Dylan would like to have back. I tried to not fall in that trap as much as I could, knowing you had a speedster on first base, knowing you want to give yourself as good a chance as possible to throw a guy out at second base. Obviously, the ball's going to get home the quickest with a fastball, but you can't get away from the game plan as much as you'd like to.
Taken low, and Roman Quinn will take second base. 10 steals this year for Roman. StatCast AI powered by AWS. This is how fast he got to first base. I mean, that's well below the major league average.
He ran a 3.5.
He ran a 3.5. And then Suzuki, who's only thrown out 11 this year, had no chance. 3-2 to Cousins.
It's a good take. Stay with it. Rizzo, stay with it now. Come on. Hang tough on that 3-2.
Inside, ball 4. Cousins draws a walk. First walk of the night for Sanchez.
Really surprised he went with a fastball there. Base open, righty on deck. Sanchez, they wanted to go away, and Sanchez missed badly.
And now Scott Kingery. Pickoff play on, and the throw is wide.
He's created more havoc on the bases than I've seen in a month. Just in this one trip.
There he goes. The throw to third is late, and Roman Quinn nearly slipped off the bag. He's out. He slipped off the bag, and he may have hurt himself too. That's the second time that's happened to him.
Well, even on the steal of second, he slid past the bag. And it's something we've seen over the last couple of seasons. I don't know why the runners just don't slide earlier.
That, or I don't know why they just don't go feet first.
Boy, he had that bag stolen easily too. So you saw the mouth of Rob Thompson say he's out. 2-5 on the putout. He had the base stolen quite easily.
It happens way too much.
So he's there easily, and then now he's off, and then whammo. I don't know how you can stay on when you get hit there.
Yeah, that's adding insult to injury.
Ball popped up foul. Freddie Freeman will give it a run, and it's out of play. Nice catch.
No addendums, Tom.
No addendums.
So the head first slide, old Pete Rose probably started it, or at least was close to one and
His
started
fault.
it.
It's his fault.
And he used to dive. If you remember seeing some pictures of Pete Rose, I mean, he'd be like
way in the air,
2 feet off the ground anyway, and his hair would be flying back and his arms would be out. But I think he started his dive earlier than our guys did.
Yeah, I think
our guy. But by the way, our guys are 10 times as fast.
Yeah.
I mean, their momentum going into that base is a lot more than what Pete used to have. So the idea of sliding over the bag, we can understand. But our guys just need to say, hey, I'm not sliding over the bag. I'm going to have to leave a little early. I got to get on the ground a little earlier. You know, we watched Cesar last year doing a lot, and this year we need to have some sliding practice in spring training, and not on the rubber
the
what do they call it, rubber mat.
On the blankets,
or at least a big discussion about it.
And let's point out the Phillies aren't the only team. I mean, the Mets. We saw the Mets do it a bunch of times this year. The Marlins.
And now the fielders are holding the glove on the guys too.
Right, and they can't force it, but they can subtly push. They can subtly push without the umpire seeing.
And also, add one other thing to that. Chase Utley, the perfect example, used to block the base because he knew guys were sliding or were diving.
You have the dirt blocked by Suzuki. 2-2.
What a play! The old 55-footer. That was way in front of home plate. I mean, way in front of home plate.
Check swing. Did he go? No.
But I would say a play like that is an example of things, little things, that the Phillies could get better at it if they want to be a postseason play. Teams in the postseason, they don't make commit errors like that on a regular basis. So there's a little improvement there. I mean, Roman Quinn, I love him. I absolutely love him. But maybe that's something. You know what? That's something I can work on.
Yeah, and again, it's all around baseball.
Yeah.
Another foul ball, and it remains 3-2.
I just think it's an error, and I would say that that's an error that can be avoided. It absolutely can be avoided.
Outside ball 4. And Alfaro is coming up with runners on first and second. An 8-pitch at bat for Kingery.
Do you think that the Roman Quinn play right there would be something that where Gabe might say, yeah, there's that steal again, and it's sort of like back him off the whole idea of
no, I don't think so.
Of aggressive base running like that?
No, I don't think so. I just think that I honestly think we've been talking about sliding for like the last 5 years all around baseball. I think your Cesar point is a good one, Mike, and this year he adjusted to it. I think he's better at it. But I think it's got to be up to the individual to adjust it too. But no, I don't think so. I think that's why he likes having Roman. He's on his own. Just go if you got it.
And that's really a dynamic that the Phillies haven't had in recent years. That's a whole different dynamic to their offense.
He is a whole different dynamic.
Woo.
0-2 to Alfaro. I think the guy over at first base, if he gets on more, I mean, you'll see him do it. He's got Kingery.
I like that swing Alfaro just took. It looked a little more controlled, a little more on balance, and I see his hands are a lot lower. Has he lowered his hands?
A little bit.
Yeah, he's hit it 4 straight. His at-bats have been better here in the month of September.
See, he just looks to me more like he's a little loosey-goosey with his hands lower. And
swing and a miss. That was just a good pitch. It was a slider. And it wraps up this second inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. We'll head to the third. Braves nothing, Phillies nothing. your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, the question is, which teams did the Phillies defeat to clinch the NL East division in 76, 77, and 78?
Ben, you got that one. But you know I know the answer.
76,
The
77,
last year I was
78.
one.
Well,
What, do they feel sorry for us now?
there might be something to that. All right, so Jorge Alfaro is done for the night. We expected that he wouldn't be around much after watching him limp a little bit. And Andrew Knapp will check in behind home plate. So that's probably the last that we've seen from Jorge. I think tomorrow it'll either be Andrew again or Wilson Ramos. Here's Acuna, who singled.
He's seen 3 pitches and he swung 3 times. Thought leadoff hitters were supposed to take a strike.
Maybe back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s and before, but not anymore. It's a new wave of leadoff hitters.
Remember Bobby Bonds?
Yes.
Leadoff hitter that hit 35 home runs.
Would he take or would he swing? I mean, I always watched him swing.
Nobody took in those days. On, you know, like on purpose. I mean,
Right.
I may fool you with a pitch or something. But
Fastball outside. Bobby Bonds used to have a stance that, you know, you as kids we used to try to duplicate everybody's stance. Mike, yours was one we tried. I saw Terry Kennedy a few weeks ago, and I told him that I used to try to bat like him from the left side. You know,
Terry
with the ball.
Kennedy, that's
Yeah.
the name.
Over to third, Santana charges, better hurry, and does. In time, 5-3 on the putout, and one away. Anyway, what I was saying is that Bobby Bonds was one of those that you tried to imitate, but you had to have fast hands.
Didn't he have it like
Yes,
his
down by
hands
his
right
waist.
by his waist, by his belt?
Good play here by Carlos. Continues to make the plays at third base.
I think he's got. I mean, I think he can play it. I mean, he's got all of what you need to play third base.
Michael,
Got infielders' reactions.
if you came up as a catcher, moves to first base, goes to third base, in your opinion, what would be the hardest play if you had to make that transition? Be the slow roller?
No, that's more of a do or die play. I mean, you can't. If they make you barehand the ball, then anything can happen. I mean,
Right.
there are some guys. I think Franco's fantastic
Yes.
at the slow roller. But as far as him playing third base, I'm sure he's played enough infield to feel comfortable over there. And he's got range. I mean, he's got nice actions. He's got a great arm.
He's got a really good arm.
Yes.
If he's willing to put the time in and consistently stay there and be the third baseman, I don't see no. And believe me, I've touted Michael Franco a lot over the years. But I think Carlos can play third base. Now, is he going to be Nolan Arenado right out of the chute? Doubt it, but I remember a guy named Joe Torre that went from catcher to third base to first base.
Right. Yeah, very few go from first base to third base.
Freddie Freeman tried to do it
Right.
last year.
I did. I went from third base to first base back to third base.
With or without the wig. 1-2 to Inciarte. Todd Zeile went from catcher to third to first. Out towards short on one hop. Actually, 2 hops. That was a wicked one for Kingery. 6-3. 2 outs. Time now for our Nissan upgrade. Upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. And Aaron Nola's WAR is at 9.8. And that is just ahead of Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, Kyle Freeland, who we didn't see in Colorado, but everybody out there said, wait till you see this kid. He's part of the 1-2 punch with Marquez, Herman Marquez.
What if that was your starting rotation?
Yeah, really.
Talk about fantasy baseball.
Back to that Santana at third base thing. Now this particular infield lineup puts a lot more stress on you, on whoever's playing third, where you have to cover that whole side of the field over there. You got to go to your right and backhand the ball, and in a wide open field like that.
Right.
Because obviously I never had to do that, so this exposes you a lot more as a third baseman, the shifting.
I mean, right now he's playing shortstop.
Exactly.
Now, what we've seen, some shortstops with a ton of range, they just prefer to keep the shortstop there and move the third baseman all the way into shallow right field.
Now, I would think thoughts might be, and I've seen other teams do it, where the third baseman runs over and plays where Kingry's playing right now, and Kingry stays at shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
It actually seems to make more sense. I mean, you don't. Seems like you got to have a lot more range over there. Although I think probably the reason they don't do it is because more balls are apt to be hit in that part of the field by the left-handed hitter. I think it's a nice infield right now, man for man, that's out there. I think the Phillies can win with this infield just as it is.
Fouled away again.
And you got 4 guys right there in that infield that want to play 162 games.
Did he go? Yes, he did. The ball gets away. Knapp has it, throws to first. In time. Nice stretch by Hoskins. That's a good play all the way around to recover for the strikeout. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Nola. 2.5 in the books. We go to the bottom of the third. Scratch off from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. And by Nissan, shop choosenissan.com. Bottom of the third, Rocco and his buddy are trying to show up Ben Davis with their dancing.
I thought that was Arrieta's family.
Yeah.
Oh, Rocco.
Yep. 0-1 to Nola.
They're starting to wear out the old floss, aren't they?
Yeah. Ooh, Nola sends one to right field. It's today's generation, Mike. They're all picking it up. Well, this is how last half inning ended. The ball gets away from Knapp, but he stays with it.
But watch the home plate umpire, Jordan Baker. What's good about this play is he appeals right away. You don't see a whole lot of umpires do that. He had an idea that Freddie Freeman swung. Excellent job here by Jordan Baker to appeal that quickly, just to give Andrew Knapp a chance to get Freddie Freeman to first base. Heck of a play by Andrew to get back, and a very good stretch there by Reese. But my compliments go to Jordan Baker for that quick appeal.
That's all you could ask for as a catcher, right, Ben?
Yeah.
And even a hitter.
Because if you wait around and Freddie starts running, he's going to beat it out.
Jordan Baker is behind home plate. He's taller than Ben. Greg Gibson's at first. Vic Carapazza, our spring training umpire, is at second, and Jerry Lane is around at third. Down low, 2-1. Freddie Freeman scoops up the fair ball and just takes it to the back for the second out. And that brings Santana up. Carlos grounded out to third his first time. That ball hit right off the end of the bat. He is now 8 for 35. With 3 extra base hits against Anibal Sanchez. Boy, it is nice out tonight, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Nice breeze coming in. That's a good changeup. 1-2.
Put the string on that boy. Ooh.
Tried it again, 2-2.
Good take. Yeah, good take.
That one was in the high 60s. That changeup.
That's the same one he waved at. Sanchez thought he'd try it again.
Bit outside, 3-2. Four full counts for Sanchez. And ball 4. Carlos draws a walk. An 8-pitch at bat. Well, another reminder for you to jump to the head of the line by placing a deposit for a 2019 season ticket plan. Now, by placing that deposit, you'll be able to secure your plan and seat location prior to the official on sale date. For more information, visit Phillies.com/season deposits or call 215-463-5000. That walk by Santana gave him 109. Second to Bryce Harper.
There's Santana. I think he's in the high threes on base percentage, or maybe 360, 370.
Yeah, right in that neighborhood. That's where he's been all year. Despite the low batting average, on base percentage has been really consistent. Broken bat, one hopper to Culberson. Duble's thrown out. 6-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits, and one man left. We move on to the top of the 4th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. One in 3 that epically fails. Order genuine HP toner cartridges from WB Mason. We'll deliver it straight to your printer for free. Nobody does it better than who but WB Mason. Oh, the Fanatics holding babies. Sometimes that's a good idea. Sometimes I'm not so sure.
What could possibly go wrong? The big green guy holding you.
People like it.
Look at the smiles, though, on everybody's face.
All grown adults.
That's right. Everybody, all the adults are smiling. The baby, I don't know how the baby's handling it. Markakis grounds one through the hole on the right side. Time now for our minor league report. Brought to you by Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. Well, the Phillies gave out their community service awards for all their minor leaguers today. It's a great moment. This is part of the process for the Phillies' potential big league players. At each level, they have some responsibility. I mean, some do it so willingly that you can't wait to see them up here in the big leagues, because there's a lot of Phillies players in the big leagues that do just that, including Rhys Hoskins. I mean, Rhys is becoming one of the best at it and always has been, even through the minor league system. I think it's great for the Phillies to acknowledge those young men, as Johan Camargo is the batter. And one of those young men had a fantastic season at Lehigh Valley this year. We heard a lot about him, left-hander Cole Irvin, and he is standing by with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, there are a lot of reasons to be excited about the emergence of Cole Irvin, not just the community service that we're going to talk about, but, man, what a year you had in the International League. Pitcher of the year for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, 14-4 on the season. It had to be at an exciting time for you all season long, huh?
Oh, yeah, well, it was a lot of fun, especially playing with a lot of the guys that are in the dugout and stuff. Yeah, it's just good. It's just good to see them succeed and be here. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, the team was... We got to playoffs, we won the division. It was just exciting all year.
I was looking over your bio, and I'm thinking to myself, 2 years ago, you're pitching in the New York Penn League, and pitching well, but pitching in the New York Penn League, and you have made a miraculous run through the system. You're the International League Pitcher of the Year this year, and here you are at Citizens Bank Park watching a game in a place that, hey, you might be playing very soon. Do you think about that and how quickly it's been able to happen for you?
I think my job is to get as many outs as possible, so I haven't really thought about it too much. But I mean, being here at Citizens Bank Park, being around the fans and being in the environment is really helpful, especially for all the guys that are here for the Community Service Award. I know Parkinson was here yesterday for the Paul Owens Award, and that's what a great honor for him. And just to be here to watch Nola's final start of the year, and the year he's had, it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Philly.
What did you learn about yourself as a player this year as you went through this season? Because not only was it a terrific season for yourself, but a great one for your team as well.
There's so many ways that you could answer that. I mean, this year was just an absolute blessing. I mean, you don't expect to go into a season to be able to carry momentum all year and to have the success that you have. And just to be able to do that with the guys surrounding me and the defense, the offense, everything that we had going there in Lehigh was just awesome. And now being here, watching these guys go and getting ready for next season is really exciting as well.
Well, we mentioned part of the reason you're here is because you also won the Community Service Award, which is, when you stop to think about that, you giving your time back to the community that you're involved in, it being the Lehigh Valley. You got a chance today to play with some of the kids out here at the yard here at Citizens Bank Park. It looked like you were having a pretty good time.
Oh, we had a blast. We got to hit a few wiffle balls and stuff. That cool little ballpark is awesome. It's so much fun. Got to launch some hot dogs and stuff too, so that was cool. But no, I mean, the reason we're here is because we all these guys work in the community, and we're very active, and we do our best to interact with the cities that we play in, because it's just kind of part of being an athlete. People view us as heroes, and we view are the ones who serve as heroes. It's kind of like that stepping process. So it's always nice to give back in a way, to be able to see a kid light up and be happy. And this was just so much fun to come here and throw on a Phillies uniform. Let me tell you, that was, it's bone chilling. It's really cool. And so, your dream is to be in the big leagues, and to be able to do a community service event at the big league ballpark was absolutely tremendous. And hands. Just hats off to the Step Up program and the organization to be able to have us here, and it was just a lot of fun. And this is my second year doing it, and I'm so glad they incorporated us into the actual community event. So that was fun.
I know the kids were as well. Very excited to meet all of you guys. Before I let you go, a lot of the guys, you just talked about putting on that Major League uniform. A lot of the guys you played with this year, last year, are wearing that Major League uniform now. You're getting a chance to watch them play. I know you keep in contact with some of them. Just how exciting is it to watch these guys play here at this level and find some success?
What's funny is De Los Santos came up to me and gave me a big old hug, and it was really fun to see him. And he was my locker mate the entire season. And Ranger Suarez, who'll pitch tomorrow, good to see him too. And Drew Anderson. I've had a relationship with these guys all season, so you try to stay in contact as best you can. But they're still playing, so you don't want to bother them too much and mess up some type of flow they got going on. So it's just fun to be here, and when they're your teammates for a long period of time, it doesn't matter, if it's for a month or, the entire season. You want to see them do well, and I'm so glad that they're here, and hopefully I'll get to strap on that uniform with them next season.
Well, I know that everybody that has followed you this year is excited about watching your progress. It was great following you all season long as we did our minor league reports, and we saw the progress that you guys were having. And good to have you here tonight. It was good to talk to you, Cole.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, Cole Irvin, guys, we'll send it back to the booth.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Boy, he's got it together, doesn't he?
Really well spoken.
Fine young man right there.
No balls and one strike to Albies. Fights it off. It's 0-2. Well, congratulations to all of the winners. Here's some of the highlights of Cole Irvin on the mound. They say he's got a feel for the strike zone, how to get guys out on a consistent basis. Nice to see that lefty.
A little J.A. Happ kind of wind up there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Similar stuff.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know about those uniforms. Not too comfortable on a 90-degree day, but
they were breathing.
He looked good.
No balls, 2 strikes to Albies. And he goes after a high fastball. 6 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. So the winners, Zach Warren, Cole Irvin, Damick Tom Shea, Luke Williams, Danny Mayer. Congratulations to all those guys. WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Well, Reese Hoskins leads it off. It'll be Hoskins, Quinn, and Dylan Cousins.
Well, I'd stay away from that low and away fastball.
It's probably on the mind of Sanchez since he got his cat buzzed his last time.
Yep, right back at it.
Yeah. Delivers a strike at the knees. Hoskins' home run yesterday, and Mike, I told you this when we went to the Open. I was surprised that you and him are the only Phillies under 25 to have 34 home runs. I thought that was interesting.
I'm surprised too. I guess I was 24, I think, when I had my first pretty decent year.
That's a rocket into left field. That'll go to the corner, and Hoskins on his way to second. 37 doubles for Reese.
It's two pretty good at-bats right there, Ben.
Yeah.
So we got center field covered. We got the left field line covered. Here's the replay. Oh, I thought that was coming right at me.
Another loud noise.
Flashbacks. Roman bunted his way on his last time up and then stole second. The stolen base of second for Roman was his 10th. First time the Phillies with two rookies having at least 10 stolen bases in the same season since 1984. Juan Samuel and Jeff Stone. Another bunt. Left to the mound. Sanchez can't get it. Camargo's throw is in time. I think they just got him, but over to third base goes Hoskins.
How about that arm?
Got him over to third, though, with less than 2 outs.
Love it.
How about that bunt? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that his future's not as a 5-hole hitter. Right? And by the way, that's a knock if Sanchez touches that ball.
Yes. Or if he tries to field it himself.
Right. So that's how quick a bunt can turn into a knock. Knock meaning hit. But that's a job. That's ABC baseball. You got Aaron Nola on the mound.
Yeah, get him a run and let him do the work.
Exactly. Yeah. But in the long run, if you have that attitude about all your starters, you're going to win more games. Now here's where Dylan Cousins needs to cut his swing down a little bit. You got the infield in. Just hit the ball hard somewhere. You don't need a home run. By the way, Quinn gets a sacrifice bunt, right?
Yes. Carl, right? Did he say sacrifice? Dick Shute is the official scorer tonight, and he did give him a sacrifice.
Bottom fell out of that one.
Yeah, that's not a quality swing there in that at bat. The way the infield's set up. Choke up now and get down in there with it. Put this ball in play.
So Dylan strikes out for the second out. 2 Ks today for Sanchez, and he'll leave it for Kingery.
Yeah, with a backdoor cutter here, that just ends up being up in the zone.
That's where you want to pitch guys that have a bit of an uppercut. Waist high or above. It's very hard for them to hit it. The pitch in last night's game, you replayed it with the box. Remember, it was a high pitch. Everybody thought it was high. And we replayed it back, and it was just split the line up and in.
Yep.
Looked high to everybody, right?
In this day and age.
Yeah.
Well, I think that pitch has to be called more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Foul ball, so Kingery stays alive. Knapp on deck. And he went upstairs again, and Kingery strikes out. 3 strikeouts. The Phils have left 2 in scoring position today. We move on to the 5th inning. Still both teams scoreless. Pre-game live crew follow the game. Head over to our Plus channel to hear from them, the players, the coaches, and more on Eagles post-game live and endgame. Bookend the Birds this Sunday, especially with Ray Dittinger with both NBC Sports Philadelphia. Speaking of Ray, his son Dave out at the poor Dave. Bigger they are, the harder they fall, guys.
A tree falling.
Dave is a hockey fan. Where'd he get that stuff?
Probably had it in his trunk.
That's funny.
We have more violence.
Poor Jimmy. Jimmy's always getting beat up. Oh, that's outstanding. Ray's one of our camera operators. You might also see him delivering your packages from time to time. That's great. One ball and no strikes to Charlie Culberson. Oh, 1-1. Speaking of the yard and that area out there, isn't Murph supposed to be climbing the wall?
Supposed to be.
Must be tomorrow.
Opportune time.
That's right.
With the microphone.
Yeah. I'm looking for someone to climb with me.
Carl, you want to climb the wall with Murph? Carl just said no, Murph. Sorry, we asked everybody.
All right, I'll do it on my own. Partner.
We have that thing, right?
We have that thing.
Yeah, that thing.
You have that thing before that other thing?
Yeah.
I got you.
Very busy tomorrow.
2-1 to Culberson. Actually, Mike, we didn't ask you. Do you want to climb the wall with Murph?
Come on, Mike.
You know, I know who you can get to do it, Murph.
Who's that?
Bull.
Oh, the Bull. I like that idea.
I bet you he would do it with you.
came climb a ladder. So, Bull might do it.
Yeah. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know who would do it if you really needed somebody to climb the wall with you?
Who's that?
Diego.
Yeah, Diego
Culberson is hit by a pitch, but did he swing? No, says Greg Gibson.
Hit him with a changeup.
It just sailed. So he's aboard. A good call by Greg Gibson. He didn't go.
Right off the right quad.
Mentioned that Culberson is playing shortstop for the injured Dansby Swanson. Swanson is back in Atlanta, rehabbing and getting treatment for that thumb. He'll know by Monday, he says, because that's when he'll start to pick up a bat. Boy, they had Culberson if they wanted to throw over the head of Hoskins to Cesar.
Annabelle looked like he was going to offer at that pitch. Probably why Culberson jumped off to a secondary lead there.
They go first pitch curveball. I would much rather stay with something firm for him to bunt. It's harder to bunt a fastball. Curveball's already going down, and it's slower. But
I know what you're saying about a regular player, but Sanchez doesn't look like he. Ooh, look at this.
Oh, nice play by Santana. There's 1 and 2.
Oh, game of inches.
Sure was.
There wasn't a lot behind Santana if that ball goes over his head. Nice play.
5-6-3 double play. Or 5-6. Did Reese handle that throw? Yeah, 5-6-3. It's our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
First of all, you got to.
Cesar.
Oh man, you got to give Sanchez credit for making contact on that curveball.
yeah, good play all the way around though. He
Nice
retreats, fires a strike. I mean, a strike on a Scott Kingery.
Yeah, Reese was backing up. I looked down and saw Reese around the first base bag, but he was backing up the throw.
It's your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by our local Hyundai dealers. So we have a 5-6-4 double play and also a 6-5-3 double play in this ball game.
Yep. So now Acuna, who is singled and grounded out, takes inside 1-0.
So much value to having that late movement on your pitches, like Nola. You see him wriggle out of jams a lot because he gets that mishit ball, that rollover, that big sweeping curveball. He's got strikeout pitches and he's got pitches that move, that create ground balls. It's amazing, this kid with the biggest swing as he has, that he can stay on pitches like he does.
At such a young age. There's beauty. 94 right down the chute. 2-2.
That's what makes him so unpredictable in Aaron Nola. He has gone to the breaking ball an awful lot tonight behind in counts to get back in counts. I think Acuna was sitting on a curveball right there and took a fastball.
I agree 100%.
The curveball swung on off the glove of Knapp. This is going to be a harder play because of the speed, but he's still able to get him. A strikeout and the putout goes 2-3. 7 strikeouts for Nola. 223 on the year. No runs, no hits. Snapchat during the off-season. Stay up to date with exclusive content on team news, community events, and off-season activities. Visit Phillies.com/social for more information. What do you think they're doing, Snapchat or Instagram? As Andrew Knapp takes a strike, 0-1.
Probably Instagram.
Probably Instagram. 0-2.
You guys on Snapchat and Instagram?
I'm not. Oh, I'm on Instagram, yeah. I always forget to send pictures, though. There's another strikeout, 4 strikeouts. Yeah, and that'll bring Nola. You're on Snapchat or Instagram?
No,
Mike?
no. Twitter, none of that. Sometimes I wish I was.
Out at the yard. Nice lefty swing.
Like someone had a snowball fight.
How do they tell who? Are they in line over there to go up and
Yes.
hit?
Yes. It's been one of the great additions to this great ballpark, and there's going to be more as we move forward to make this place even better. I mean, it's so classically beautiful anyway. But the yard has been a very popular addition. Oh, you heard Cole Irvin talk about it. I mean, he's visiting today. The ball's at 2 strikes to Nola. And Aaron again down the right field line. Markakis watches it go into the crowd. Nice play off the bounce.
If you played like a legit wiffle ball game in there, you know, kids, 10 years old, how much fun would that be? It's to have a legit game. I mean, the score would probably end up being like 50-48 or something.
Absolutely,
you know,
would.
because of the dimensions and the home runs being hit. But
well, it all depends on pitching, then.
It depends on the pitching.
Well, you mean if you just let the hitter hit, just kind of lobbed it in there? It'd be good for kids, but I don't know if they have guys like you and I down there. Well, I couldn't compete. You could. You could probably play out there on that field right now.
I can still squat down, Michael. Just get back up is the tough part.
Swing and a miss. Nola strikes out. It's 5 strikeouts, 4 in a row. Well, speaking of the ballpark, it is a perfect place to host your next social, fundraising, or corporate event on a non-game day any time of year. Choose between spaces such as the Diamond Club, Executive Dining Room, or Hall of Fame Club with free parking and on-site catering. Add a Fanatic visit or a ballpark tour. Go to Phillies.com/special events or call 215-218-5100 for more information. Cesar's 0 for 2. He's fly to left. He's grounded to first.
Mike, when you climb the wall with Murph tomorrow, maybe you can get Murph to throw you a couple. A couple wiffle balls.
Oh, you mean when I'm out there?
Yeah.
Grab a bat.
There you go.
Cesar lifts into the air to deep right field. Markakis going back, and he's got some room. And he'll run it down just a step or so from the scoreboard. And the Phillies go down 1-2-3 here in the 5th. 5 in the books. Not a whole lot of offense, but a whole lot of hot dogs.
Philly since 2013 to strike out more than 200 hitters. His 16 wins are the most since Cole Hamels' 17 in 2012. And he sits among the NL leaders in almost every category. Rhys Hoskins became the first Philly with 90 RBIs, 80 walks, 30 doubles, and 30 home runs in a season since Bobby Abreu in 2004. And he became the second fastest Philly to reach 50 career home runs. 2018 has seen some great performances. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Well, speaking of great performances, the Fanatic just mixing himself in with everybody else. Here's Inciarte to start the 6th inning. Braves nothing, Phillies nothing. Another nice outing so far for Aaron Nola. Unfortunately for him, Anibal Sanchez has kept the Phillies hitters off balance as well. Inciarte's flied out to center. He's grounded out to shortstop. Actually, it was a scorcher to shortstop. This one to the right side. Cesar is there. And now Freddie Freeman. So Jeff Francoeur was in our office today. Jeff's doing radio for the Atlanta Braves.
First baseman Freddie Freeman.
New baby? He just had a new
he and his wife Katie just had a baby girl. But he was saying that Freddie talked about those 3 doubles last night and said, honestly, the single the opposite way was what made me feel even better. I said to those guys, I said, you know, I look at the numbers on Freddie Freeman, and the Phillies playing with 3 men on the right side and Santana playing the shortstop position. I said, does he always hit through the shift the way he does against the Phillies? Because it seems like he hits the ball to the left side all the time against us. And they said, absolutely not. He said, it just seems like the Phillies he does it more often. He said, with everybody else, everybody plays the shift on with him. Everybody has 3 guys on the right side. And it's the Phillies that he seems to be poking it through that hole more often than not.
I wish I had an answer to this. I'd have to refer to the analytics for that.
Well, he's just a good player. You know, in 703 plate appearances.
Yeah, you know, I must concede that I'm not a fan of the uppercut, but this is one guy in the league that has such a short, compact uppercut, and he keeps his head in the hitting zone so long.
I think he's able to get away with it because of his timing. He seems to always be on time.
Inside.
But he's a machine. Leads the National League in hits. His teammate Nick Markakis right behind him.
It sure helps when you're 3-4 hole hitters. Both MVP candidates and National League leaders in a lot of areas.
He got him. Threw him a changeup and had him leak it out over the plate. 8 strikeouts for Nola. Second time that he's gotten Freddie Freeman.
Right fielder Nick Markakis.
The movement on that one. Arm action is so good.
But even though he missed that ball, you see on the replay how his head was straight down at home plate. He's just trying to get a piece of it. That's how good Aaron Nola is.
About to throw his 74th pitch with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Markakis takes inside. Out at the boardwalk area down in left field near Bull's Barbecue. The Boardwalk Eats. It's one of the new ventures here at the ballpark that's been so successful.
Now, would that be sort of a ice cream place?
Ice cream's over by, well, yes, you can get ice cream like shakes and stuff like that over there, but also over by the yard you can get your ice cream. 2-0 pitch. Inside 3-0.
Well, I've already had Frankie Two Scoops ice cream, so I've had my ice cream for the day, as has Ben.
He was offering banana splits today.
Yes, he was.
And I asked him, I said, "Are you going to offer Mike a banana split?" He goes, "Mike knows his limitations."
Mike's on a diet. He only has one dip. Plate full of vegetables and ice cream.
And ball 4, Markakis walks.
I had to go with 1 scoop today.
I can tell you look a little chubby.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Phillies app. Customize your experience to catch every moment. Get Phillies home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcasts, the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
I got a question for you. This Braves team is predominantly left-handed, aren't they?
A couple switch
They're
hitters.
a little vulnerable to some left-handed starters.
They can. I mean, Camargo's a switch hitter, which helps them, I think.
Freddie Freeman leads the league in lefties against lefties.
Braves as a team have the top batting average against lefties.
That takes care of that.
Camargo and Albie switch hitters.
Camargo down the left field line. It's 0-2.
Kid looks like a real smart hitter. Kid looks like he's really got his mind in the at bat. Can feel, you know, he's got a good feel. He can feel the way the swing feels.
Yeah, well, he's one of those young kids that Freddie Freeman alluded to before that they didn't know what they would get, and he's really had a solid year. Missed the first month. Rhys Hoskins will take care of him in this at bat. Braves have not had a hit since the 4th inning. They leave one here in the 6th inning. So as we go to the bottom of the 6th, it's Santana, Herrera, and Hoskins. Refreshing finish, and in his final start of 2018, Aaron Nola has been as good as we've seen, particularly in the month of September. But this is the Aaron Nola we've seen really all year long, just delivering one strike after another. He has 8 strikeouts tonight. His ERA is down to 2.38.
And he's doing it with all his pitches, behind in counts, ahead in counts, some very awkward swings. And yeah, this is a ball club that he has faced an awful lot in his career, and to be able to just continue to baffle him the way he has done tonight, he is special.
Yeah, this is his 12th start against the Atlanta Braves. 6-3 coming in, ERA of 2.5. He's got 8 ground ball outs tonight. The ball's in 1 strike to Santana, who has grounded out and walked, and he loops one into left field. That'll be a base hit. So the Phillies have the leadoff hitter aboard for just the 2nd time tonight. All right, time now for the Ram Truck Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, guys, the question is, which teams did the Phillies defeat to clinch the National League East Division in 1976, 77, and 78? Answer, what do you think, guys? Ben, are you getting some help?
Really? It's my brother Glenn.
Oh, so he is texting you the answer. We've actually been investigating that for most of the year, that Glenn would be helping.
My nephew Ryan and Andrew there.
Ben wants to make a phone call.
Huh? That ball's fouled away.
So too much.
Where's your phone? Did he send it to you?
It's right here.
Let's see what the answer is.
Did he?
Huh?
Did he send you the answer?
I don't see an answer. He never does send me an answer.
High-fiving right there.
They feel confident, Ben. They feel confident.
Ben must know, or he doesn't know. He just prolonging it.
I was not privy to this information.
Really? Who did Glenn send it to?
I don't know. I think he was just going along with what you probably told him to do.
I didn't tell him to do anything. All right, Mike, do you remember who you beat in 76?
Beat?
Yeah. Where you won the title? Where you won the title in 76? Where did you celebrate the...
I thought it was who we played in the...
Now, who did you clinch to win the National League East Division? Which teams did the Phillies defeat to clinch the National League East Division in 76?
That would be the Expos.
Okay, how about 77?
That would be the Cubs.
Your favorite place, yep. And then in 78, who did you beat?
Pirates.
That's right, at Pittsburgh. Nice going, Mike.
Going.
Thank you, but I thought it was who beat us in the postseason.
Oh, no.
Reds, Dodgers, and Dodgers.
So you remember that, too.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Glenn, for participating in the Ram Truck Stump the Feds trivia question.
I had to think about that. See, that's not where my mind was, and I had to think about our parties and where they were. And
you reeled it off pretty easy.
I know it was on my birthday in Chicago, 27. Good birthday for postseason, clinches and all that kind of stuff, because
absolutely
mine comes right around the time when teams do that.
We were in Denver this year for your birthday.
Appreciate all the well wishes, especially yours. Your little thing was on a bus somewhere?
Yeah, we were on our way we were taking the bus the 2 blocks to the ballpark. Johnny didn't want to walk, so we all got on the bus.
All right, come on, O'Double. Back to the game.
Never cease to amaze me, partner. You really don't.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Herrera. And O'Double fouls it away to stay alive. By the way, we appreciate Glenn spending the time with us here at the ballpark tonight and not staying at home to watch his Vanderbilt football team play this evening. It's amazing how Glenn's going gray, but you're not. I don't really know how that works.
Spent a little more TLC on it, T-Mac.
O'Double fouls it away again.
He's 15 months older as well.
Oh, okay. Mike, just so you know, Ben's nephews are going to have and nieces are going to have nightmares tonight about Larry Anderson, because he spent a pretty good portion of the pregame burping as loud as he possibly could.
Geez. Yeah, I know that one.
O'Double pulls it through the right side. Albies has it, and they'll throw out O'Double. Up to second base goes Santana. Ball wasn't hit sharply, but that's still a good play by Albies.
Hey, he hit it like he threw it.
It's a fantastic play. He went a long way for that ball, dove, and that out right there can stifle an inning, because it looks like we got him first and second or first and third.
It's hit harder than I thought.
It's a good play by Albies, but how about the play by Freddie Freeman? I mean, he threw this on a rope to Freddie, and he's got to reach across his body. Sanchez appreciates the effort.
Little golf clap there.
All right, so Hoskins is coming up, so they meet on the mound with a runner at second base and 1 out here at the bottom of the 6th inning.
So I guess if I was in the visiting dugout, I would say, well, I don't want any part of Rhys Hoskins in this at bat.
With Roman Quinn on deck. So they won't walk him intentionally, but they may not give him anything good to hit.
Just hope he doesn't miss out over the plate, right?
Mike, did you find it was difficult hitting in a situation like this?
Yes.
Because you know what's going on. It's a cat and mouse game, and the only time I ever had to worry about it was if I'm in the 8 hole and the pitcher was hitting behind me and there are 2 outs, something like that. That was never easy. I mean, you had to do it most likely on a daily basis.
You know, it
like
depended a lot, Ben, on who we were playing. You know what my history was with the pitcher and the team. Obviously, if I came up in this situation in Wrigley Field, it'd be automatic, 4. We're out in San Francisco, and there was a guy on the mound I've been having trouble with, and the team doesn't have any recent memories of me beating them or anything like that. They probably go after me. It also depends on who's in that on-deck circle, for sure. I mean, Rhys he didn't get a fastball down the middle. He got a slider for a strike, a changeup for strike 3, and I believe a breaking ball for his 2nd strike as well. So there were 3 pitches he could have swung at, but they weren't fastballs. They weren't.
Yeah, Sanchez is going slower and slower with his pitches, at least to Rhys and now to Roman.
And that changeup, we can see from the booth. I'm just wondering if the hitters can see it in the box, but he's really slowing his motion up and kind of shot putting the ball to home plate.
1-1.
I'm saying the ones that he's throwing 69, 70 miles an hour.
It worked out for the Braves, but I just don't see any reason to pitch to him in that situation.
Well, maybe if they hadn't clinched the division, maybe they would have looked at it differently. I don't know. But as we said, they're trying to play for something.
By the way, he's hit 2 ropes in the game off this guy, right?
Right.
He's almost hit him in the head with a line drive and a smoke double down the line. Be different if he had 2 bad at-bats. It's a new game, Ben. It's a different game we play nowadays.
It is.
Three and 2. Good eye.
I can say, though, I've made that visit before, and I said, hey, we're not putting him on. You're going to go after him like you typically would. We're just doing this to get in his head. Mind game. Try and deke him a little bit. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
So how about running a guy out in the on-deck circle that would get him fastballs or something in that situation? Just have him stand there. I don't know, who that might be. It'd be Asdrubal maybe,
or Ramos, Wilson
Justin
Ramos. Way out in front of that changeup. 7 strikeouts for Sanchez. So he's through 6 innings tonight. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. It's a pitcher's duel as we go to the 7th. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Well, it's been lacking over the last several days, but this is a pitcher's duel Phillies are involved in right now. They have 3 hits. The Braves have 2 hits. Sanchez 7 strikeouts over 6. Nola 8 strikeouts over 6. And now we go to the 7th, and Kurt Suzuki leads it off. Suzuki is 0 for 2. He's flied to right, and he has struck out looking. Mentioned that Aaron has his mom and dad here. He's got a bunch of family and friends up from Baton Rouge to watch his final start of the 2018 season. His dad has been to a number of his games this year. That one's pulled foul deep down the left field line. There's the Nola family. Dad must be taking a stroll. Oh, no, here he is. He's down in the first row by himself. What a good man. Mom and Dad have raised a good son.
You sure have.
His mom, Stacy, was off to the right. We've seen his dad AJ on the road a few times this year too. Two balls, 2 strikes. Left side, backhanded by Santana.
Now that looks pretty slick right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice and relaxed. Good arm.
All right, so 1 out. Albies coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, we've gone through most of the national awards that will be awarded around baseball after the season is over, but we still have a couple more to do. It is our T-Mobile Built for Baseball. We're looking at the American League Manager of the Year race, and well, some good candidates, some really good teams in the American League this year. Kevin Cash of Tampa Bay, 25 games better from a season ago. Bob Melvin, we know what he's done with the A's. Alex Cora, 107 wins and counting, best most wins for the Red Sox in their franchise history. AJ Hinch again. Aaron Boone of the Yankees as well. I think a lot of folks like what the Oakland A's have done. And Melvin, what do you guys think?
No, I would say that Bob Melvin is going to get it hands down. What he's done with that ball club has been nothing less than spectacular. I mean, they just weren't supposed to be here. They just weren't supposed to be in the playoffs and do what they have done, especially in that division.
Mike, I know you're watching the Phillies a lot, but you're up in that Boston area. I mean, Alex Cora has done a heck of a job with the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, how can you get better than that? I don't know much about the Oakland team. I just know that they are unbelievable, surprising everybody. So
yeah,
I'd probably go with Ben on that. I mean, usually the manager of the year goes to a guy that kind of turned a team around, kind of done some things with the team that were unexpected.
I think that the voters, I would vote for Bob Melvin also. But I think the voters are going to look at it a couple of different ways. You've got Cash and Melvin, who have brought two teams overachieving, into playoff caliber, although Cash fell short. But then you have Cora, a rookie manager, but a world of talent. It's going to be a great race. 8-pitch inning for Aaron Nola. Time to stretch. In 5 days, 4 nights, 3 different experiences to choose from. The fan, the player, or the general manager. Located at the Carpenter Complex in Clearwater, Florida. Join Phillies legends Greg Luzinski, Matt Stairs, Charlie Emanuel, Mickey Morandini, and more of the Phils at Fantasy Camp. Call 610-520-3400 or go to PhilliesFantasyCamp.com. Speaking of fantasies, Jeff Steinauer, our EBS operator. Short, compact swing. Making some contacts. Oh, that's a base hit. He would have beaten that out. Ryan dropped it. Pete's going to use his cap to catch that one out near second base. Johnny Vetters will be the pitcher for the Braves, and Jose Bautista will be the pinch hitter for the Phils. As we begin the bottom of the 7th inning, it'll be Bautista, Kingery, and Knapp. So Anthony Dominguez strolling around the bullpen. They're going to have to get somebody up because you figure that if Nola's spot does come up.
Not unless they get a run before that.
Well, that's true. I was going to say his spot comes up before they get a run.
Yeah. Aaron at 88 pitches. Definitely can go out there again.
At ball 4.
Good start.
Yep. There we go. Ducks on the pond. Where'd that saying come from?
That's an old one. I think I looked that up a few years ago. I'd have to go back and look it up again. So a leadoff walk. That Kingery is walked and struck out. See if Scotty tries to bunt for a base hit. He bunts toward first. That may be a base hit. The throw is offline. That's a beautiful thing. First and second, nobody out.
That moves some base runners.
Yeah, he wasn't content with the sacrifice there. He was bunting for a hit, and if it turned out to be a sacrifice, great.
Absolutely.
This is textbook here.
Well, you have the left-hander on the mound who falls off toward third base when he releases the ball. And, with that speed and that technique, you get you a sacrifice or you get a knock.
Chuck Hernandez is going out to the mound.
So Knapp's going to hit. Apparently he's going to bunt, right?
I would think he's going to try to bunt. And again, try to bunt maybe for a base hit, but at least get the runners over to second and third. You've got the on-deck circle vacant right now. Wilson Ramos has got a helmet. The righty Dan Winkler is in the bullpen. Justin Bohr is near the stairs too. Corners come in, and that bunts it back toward the mound. Venters has it. Second and third, one out.
Little execution. See, that's what I like to see. ABC baseball is back.
Wilson Ramos is going to pinch hit. Let's see what they do if they walk him intentionally. I can see Walt Weiss and Brian Snitker talking about it right now. And they're going to walk him intentionally. So they'll pinch run for Ramos. And it's going to be up to Cesar. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, along with Mike Schmidt, Ben Davis, Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. Phillies and the Braves in a deadlocked in a scoreless tie. They have the bases loaded, the Phillies do here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Nick Gabe Kapler wants to pinch run for Wilson Ramos, and he will. Nick Williams will come out. Nick can still run. Aaron Nola's night is done after 7 innings. His season is done after 7 innings. He only threw 88 pitches, but this is more about offense than anything else. Otherwise, he probably could have pitched a complete game. The key is to try to get him a win and get a Phillies win to end this 9-game losing streak. Over toward the hole, under the glove of Culberson, 1 run is in. Here comes Kingery. The throw to the plate is not in time, and then dropped by Suzuki. It's 2-0 Phils.
How about it?
That's good to see right there.
It's a ball that Culberson maybe should have handled, at least to get an out. They're giving him a hit. Cesar and the Phillies will take it. This ball just goes underneath the glove of Culberson in the left field. What a throw here by Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean, this is on the money.
Yeah, you got a fast runner too. He made it a close play.
Yeah, no, even if Culberson catches that ball, they're not going to turn 2. We're going to get a run anyway.
Absolutely. Timely hitting there by Cesar Hernandez.
So 2 RBIs for Cesar, 59 on the year, and here is Santana with runners on first and second. Two more ducks on the pond, Mike. And Carl said after his research, that Arch McDonald, the longtime announcer for the Washington Senators, he's in their Hall of Fame. He's the one who's believed to have come up with it in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
It's a good one. It's like a big pond out there, and you got a couple of ducks sitting in the pond, I guess.
Maybe it's a hunting reference.
May have been. Arch may have been a hunter. Outside, 3-0.
Turning loose. On 3 RBIs, go ahead and go for it right here.
Three and one.
Hard to believe the leadoff walk scored. Never happens.
Yeah, earlier Nola walked 3 in 1 inning, but worked around it. There's ball 4. That'll load the bases up. And Odubel Herrera is due up with the lefty Venters on the mound.
Here's where you go back into your history that you have with Venters. And remember how he got you out and sit on a pitch and try to, just try to put it in play on the line or hard on the ground somewhere. There you go.
Out to shortstop. Might be 2. No! Not able to turn it. Another run scores. 3-0 Phils. Give it RBI to Odubel. The fielder's choice.
Smelled that RBI, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And Brian Snitker's coming out with Reese coming up. They're going to bring in the right-hander. We talked about that double play the other day in Colorado. He didn't run it out. This one he ran out.
Smelled that RBI.
There you go.
Right through the bag. Well done.
So 3-0 Phillies here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Another pitching change for the Braves. We'll be back right after this. there in the red jacket is Bill Buck, one of the Phillies owners, who is celebrating a milestone birthday today. And he and his family are celebrating here at the ballpark. And what would be great is to give Bill a victory tonight. Happy birthday, Bill. It's one of the nicest men you'll meet. And the Buck family has been such a big part of the Phillies' legacy. Rhys Hoskins takes outside, 1-0. So the hats that were there in the booth, they said happy 90th birthday. Man,
looks great.
He looks fantastic. Winkler at 3.45 ERA. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rhys. .34 home runs, 95 runs batted in. He would love, and Gabe Kapler would love to get him to 100 RBIs for the year. Gabe adjusting his lineup card. He's used Wilson Ramos, Nick Williams in this inning. He's had to use Andrew Knapp as well to replace Jorge Alfaro as Rhys fouls it back. And Rhys is going to use a little bit more Manny Motostick. It looks like Hector Neris will indeed come in at the top of the 8th inning as the Phillies try to now preserve this victory for Aaron. Hector Neris in the bullpen. Nola, by the way, will finish with 224 strikeouts this year. Second most by a Phil's pitcher in the last 20 years. And only Grover Cleveland Alexander has recorded more strikeouts at 25 years old or younger in team history. Whoa. Oh, nice play. Off the wall. There's Aaron chatting with Zach Eflin.
Finished with a 2.37 ERA.
Beautiful.
Just remarkable.
Pretty nice to have a foundation piece on the mound to move forward, huh? Moving forward.
Nice play. Guarantee you they told Odubel not to run in this at bat.
There he goes. Pitch is dribbled foul with the count 3-2 and 2 outs.
Yeah.
He's off and running anyway.
Park it. Let him hit. It's 3 RBIs right there. Always found it funny in this situation with right-hander hitting. Why wouldn't they hold the runner on, just so that if they had to get a play, have a play at second base, because there's no way Rhys is hitting the ball to first base.
Inside, ball 4. No, you're right, Mike. That's a good point. Particularly a guy that's quick like Odubel potentially is. Rowan Quinn is up now with the bases loaded. 9th man to come to bat.
The 4th walk of the inning.
86 walks on the year for Rhys. And now Suzuki out to chat.
Oh, we're down to 3 visits. If this is the 4th one, yeah. Take her off that board.
Jordan Baker just signaled up.
I believe this puts Roman Quinn in an uncomfortable position in the batting order. He may get a knock, and I hope he does. I mean, this is not the style of hitter that they want him to be. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Sure, he'll get the hit with the bases loaded if he's up in the front of the batting order, but
out to left field. Acuna is there, makes the catch, and the side is retired. 3-run score. Aaron Nola's night is done, but he's the pitcher record on the winning side. The Phillies got very gritty in the inning as that ball's kicked out of the glove of Kurt Suzuki. Wow, speaking of gritty. You buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by Jefferson Health, call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. I have to tell you, Gritty got an amazing round of applause. Look how excited the fanatic is. Not as excited as this fella. I mean, he's got his camera out. That is outstanding. Mike, have you met the Flyers' new mascot? He's become the greatest mascot in the NHL.
He's trending.
Gritty.
Yeah, Gritty.
No, I have not met him.
Was he trending the other day, Ben?
Trending.
Oh, that's so great.
Absolutely.
Gritty, Youppi, I don't know if the NHL can handle it. He did get an amazing response from the first base dugout. I think the Flyers did a good job with that. I think it's awesome.
I think he's great.
And I think when he fell on the ice the first night, it was even funnier. So the changes for the Phillies, it includes Naris pitching. It's 0-2 to Rio Ruiz, who's pinch hitting. Bautista in right field. Odubel over to left field. And a strike 3 called. It was a split that was up at the letters. 1 out here in the 8th inning. This is what happened, Mike, first night.
That's what happens when you don't wear your skates out there.
He wore his skates later on that week and was moving.
Yeah.
I think that was choreographed or
I don't know. Outside to Acuna. He is 1 for 3. Aaron Nola, by the way, 2 hits, 7 innings, 8 strikeouts. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in now 25 of his 33 starts this year.
All right, tell the Cy Young voters about that one. Of course, I know a guy up in New York has some pretty serious numbers too.
You know, the thing about DeGrom is that he closed this month of September in such dominating fashion. That was a good pitch. Got it in on his hands. Knapp off with the mask. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Well, time now for our Toyota turning point. This is how the Phillies took their lead.
Bunt.
That put runners on first and second. Another bunt.
Bunt. And that was a key play of the game, I think. The key play of the inning. Knapp laying down that perfect bunt.
And then Cesar making contact.
That's right. Hard contact. They would have got a run anyway, even if they'd have caught the ball. He gets a knock on that bases loaded ground ball to the shortstop's right. And that's the Toyota turning point. 1 inning, 3 runs.
And the Phils have a 3-0 lead.
For Aaron Nola, by the way.
Yep. Trying to get his 17th win. As Inciarte takes a strike, it's 0-1. Little looper out towards center. Roman Quinn is diving, and he made the catch. What a play to finish up this 8th inning. Wow. He got a great jump, and he's got great speed. And all that was left was some athleticism.
Well, you see it, concentration too. He knew he was going to get to it. It was just a matter of watching it in his glove. There it is, barely in the web of the glove. Look at that. Fantastic play.
Braves go down in order, just 9 pitches.
Presented by the University of Maryland, University College, and the Dodgers, well, they are headed back to the postseason. They had a 10-6 win today over the Giants that clinched at least a wild card spot for the Los Angeles Dodgers. However, the West is still up for grab depending on what the Colorado does. Right now, I can tell you Colorado is trailing their game against the Washington Nationals 5-1, so we'll keep you posted on that. And how about this story coming out of Toronto, guys? John Gibbons, as we know, is going to be let go as manager of the Blue Jays at the end of this season, and tomorrow being his last game, he has decided to let Russell Martin, their backup catcher at this point, manage the game. Martin, coming to the end of his career, I guess he's expressed some interest in managing, so Gibbons has said he's going to allow Martin to have some fun with it tomorrow and manage the team, the final game of the season, guys.
That's interesting.
I thought so.
It's very interesting.
I always wanted to do that.
Well, see, you should have played for John Gibbons. Yeah, Gibbons will wrap up his second tour with the Blue Jays. They lost tonight to the Tampa Bay Rays 4-3. Blake Snell, I think, put the exclamation point on his Cy Young Award with his effort tonight. Mike Scioscia is wrapping up his tenure with the Angels tomorrow. There's nothing official for any of the others around Major League Baseball. Those are the two that we know of. Some people speculate Buck Showalter may be done with the Orioles, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. They're playing a doubleheader against the Astros.
You know who I heard is the leading candidate to manage the Angels?
Eric Chavez?
Yes.
That one gets away, and it's 2-2.
Former third baseman for the Oakland Athletics and New York Yankees.
Chavez is player development right now, I think. In the player development department with the Angels. 2-2 to Bautista as the Braves play him to pull against Touki Toussaint. And he's down on strikes. He threw him a splitter. So one away here in the 8th inning. Well, Kita, who's our stage manager tonight and has split time with Christine Connors up here in the booth. She's trying to go the other way. She looks like she's putting a lot into it, though.
It's a lot of effort.
That's it. Don't sway at anything but strikes.
That a girl. Take a couple pitches. Work that count.
We do have a good time up here in the booth, and everybody that's up here, and obviously with our entire crew, but our booth up here with Carl and Pete Mickelson, Slappy, Christine Connors, Kita, Joe Kennedy.
What's Joe Kennedy's nickname again?
Gus.
Gus.
Yep. Joe's off doing football this weekend.
Yeah, Christine and Kita, those young ladies, keep us honest.
5, 4, 3.
Gentlemen, put your headsets on.
Now.
2-0 to Kingery with one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-1. It's a good pitch.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch right there. You haven't faced this guy before.
Yeah, this is a young man that will be in the Braves rotation maybe as soon as next year on a full-time basis. He has started some this year. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and Andrew Knapp is due up. I think Mike Kell might be making fun of Jorge.
A little bit.
Or walking like Sarge. I'm not really sure which one.
Sarge has a much better gait now. He's got 2 new knees.
That's right.
Tell you what, they got dugout cameras now. I'd be careful what I did in the dugout. Right? Can't get away with anything in that dugout.
No. 0-1 to Knapp.
I wouldn't bother him. He's got to get 3 outs, doesn't he not?
I think Sir Anthony is going to get those 3
coming
outs.
in.
Yep. I think Hector's done. Try to backdoor that breaking ball. 2-1.
mean, that pitch was only 88 miles an hour.
Was it the split?
Because his fastball will touch 94.
Yes. And a curveball swung on a miss. He just struck out the side here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So the Phillies go down 1-2-3. Now it's left up to Sir Anthony Dominguez as we go to the 9th inning. Mason deliveries of the game, and we're just going to look into the 7th inning. The bunt by Kingery to make it first and second.
Very useful there. And then Andrew Knapp, and I agree with Michael, that was really a turning point that inning. They had to go and walk Ramos. That brings up Cesar Hernandez. Shoots one through the left side to plate 2. Despite that very good throw by Ronald Acuna Jr. Phil's went on to add another one in the bottom of the 7th. They are your W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
All right, so now we go to the top of the 9th inning, and Sir Anthony Dominguez will take over. Dominguez will face Freddie Freeman to start off. Sir Anthony 2-5, 14 saves, and an ERA of 3.05. Gabe was asked today, is there something wrong with Sir Anthony? Is there a reason he hasn't pitched? He said, well, we haven't really been in a position where we could use him since they had lost 9 straight. He probably could have used him in the middle of games, but I think he was hoping each night that he would be able to use him at the end of games.
Well, he hadn't really had a rotation, has he? I mean, when I'm watching on TV, I see the guys pitching all kind of different slots.
Yeah, they definitely have been. 1 ball, no strikes to Freddie Freeman. 1-1.
Good frame by Knapp right there.
Every time a Phillies pitcher hits 95 miles per hour or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. To the right side, Cesar backhands and flips to first in time.
Smooth as silk right there. There's some pressure on that play there too. You know, you don't want to give him a base runner. So.
And not easy play. We're having all that momentum going towards center field, and
nothing easy about that play. In second base and short right field. If you miss it, bobble it, or anything, you know, Freeman's going to be on first base.
And now Markakis outside, 1-0.
Yeah, there's a pitch right there that he swung at that was probably going to be ball 2, high in the strike zone. Freddie Freeman did the right thing leading off the inning. You know, he took a strike, made the pitcher throw a strike before he swung.
Three and one. Three and two. 98 on that fastball.
More money for Phillies charities.
That's right. Milwaukee has tied up Detroit 5-5. If Milwaukee wins that game, they'll be tied with the Cubs for the top spot in the Central going into tomorrow's finale. Outside ball 4. So Markakis walks for the 3rd time tonight. So with 1 out, a base runner, and Johan Camargo's coming up. Washington leads Colorado 5-1. If that score holds, then Colorado and the Dodgers will go into tomorrow tied for the National League West. Wow. So maybe we'll have 1 playoff. As it sits now, the teams that have qualified for the postseason, the Cubs, the Brewers, the Braves, the Rockies, and the Dodgers, have 12 different combinations of where they could be seated.
Wow.
Combined. Cubs could be 1st or 4th. Brewers could be 1st or 4th. Braves could be 2nd or 3rd. The Rockies could be 2nd, 3rd, or 5th, which means they could be the wild card. Dodgers could be the same, 2nd, 3rd, or 5th. American League is settled pretty much. The National League is still up for grabs.
Bad as a FedEx Cup.
That is true. No balls, 2 strikes to Camargo here in the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. Did it hit him? He's out, says Jordan Baker. It did hit him, and it shot to the backstop. So that's a strikeout for Dominguez.
That's a painful way to strike out right
Sure
there.
is.
Unless it hit his pad on his foot.
No, it didn't. It hit his back foot.
Oh.
This is like Odubel earlier this year. Remember when he did this?
Oh, that'll break a toe. That'll. Oh my
that
God! You talk about painful trying to sleep tonight. You toe throbbing.
One to Suzuki. Little dribbler foul, 0-2. Well, I have to say, this is more like it, isn't it?
Sure is.
2 outs, 2 strikes, fills up 3-0. Top of the 9th inning. A young right-hander that was a story early on this season for the Phillies in so many ways. On to trying to record a save and the victory for one of the bigger stories for the Phillies. Over to 3rd base. Carlos Santana's up with it. Throws high over the head of Rhys Hoskins. And that'll put runners on 2nd and 3rd, and it means the tying run is coming to the plate in Ozzie Albies.
Well, we're going to make it hard getting this win, breaking this losing streak.
I will say that's the first bad throw he's made since his first throw at 3rd base that was secured by Hoskins.
Well, he didn't do really anything wrong. He got on top. He had a nice crow hop.
I mean, that baby sailed.
Well, you throw one away every now and then. That was bad timing right there. We get this out right here, nobody will remember.
Albies is 0 for 3. He struck out twice and grounded out. Ground ball towards second base. Cesar has it. He's up with it in time, and the Phils have snapped a 9-game losing streak as they win it 3-0 over the Atlanta Braves. As Aaron Nola will finish 2018 with 17 victories.
How about it? Much like a ball game we saw for the first 4 months of the season. Really, really good starting pitching. Some good defense other than the play there in the 9th by Santana. And really good bullpen work with Neris and Dominguez coming in to close it out.
Well, we're going to talk to Aaron Nola, who picked up the victory tonight, when we return to Citizens Bank Park after the Phils' 3-0 victory.